Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting in a Fan. How are you today? Right now the time is approximately 8:11 p.m. Eastern Time, and the date is Monday, January 25th, 2021. The moon is waxing in Cancer, and the sun is transiting in Aquarius. I officially welcome you to the February 2021 edition of Llewellyn's 2021 Llewellyn's 2021 Tarot Calendar, and I'm going to have my awesome audio-visual person do a close-up of the gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous cover of this calendar. Look at how gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous it is. Oh, when I saw this last year, and this was before it was officially published, I was like, ooh, you're so beautiful. And I'm going to have him do a close-up of all the different articles, which I will happily share with you and read and offer my own intuitive insights for the February 2021 section. And this is the second, I think it's actually the third year in a row that Llewellyn has used cards from the Mermaid Tarot, written by Lisa Robertson, illustrated by Eugene Smith, to grace February for the tarot calendar. So, the Eight of Pentacles is the card of focus. Decks show different aspects of the cards, even if they are Rider-Waite-Smith based. Traditionally, this card is about preparation and practice. This image focuses on contribution to a community rather than an individual's ego and accomplishment. Sorry, I'm a lot more politically minded these days, so when I saw that, when I read that, I immediately thought of a certain political party and a certain other political party, but I digress. I will say, this is also the card that I know to be traditionally the card of the apprentice. And intuitively, this is the only card that for me has nothing to do with money. It has to do with higher education and continued education. So perhaps in a reading, this card could mean that the client is being offered an opportunity to learn a skill or learn something new, like a body of work, as a way of preparing themselves for accepting a higher paying position of employment. But I've often found this as being primarily about higher education, continued education, intuitively speaking, and also about the card of the apprentice, about one learning under the tutelage of another. Now, the symbol, the bird with flowers, and I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of that bird with the flowers, which is right here. Cute little bird, too. Okay? Symbol, bird with flowers, in this beautiful image, indeed, beautiful indeed. Everyone in the community, no matter how small, has something of value for the group's collective resources, which are then shared with everyone according to need. I love this. And I really just got the story behind this card. Here are the mermaids and all the different animals in this area, in this wooded, watery area, that are coming together to provide for their community. I love that. I really love that. Okay. I'm going to read this a little bit differently, because normally I tend to read it like around, like I go to everything, unless there's a card spread. But I'm going to read it like this. Like I did a bit of a zigzag, so bear with me. Positive cards in negative positions. Just as there are negative cards in a tarot deck, there are negative positions in many spreads, so that we can find the solutions and guidance we seek. Negative cards vary depending on the person, the deck, and the situation. Negative spread positions include things like challenge, problem, what to avoid, crux of the problem, or weakness. New readers often struggle with interpreting negative cards in positive positions and vice versa. It is important to remember that all cards have a spectrum of meaning. For example, in the traditional version of the Eight of Pentacles, all work and no play, being stuck in a boring job, or being addicted to perfection can be considered negative aspects of the card. For this specific image, we might use talking without giving, giving to feed the ego, or judging what others give. For the record, I no longer look at cards like good or bad, positive or negative. I solely look at cards, and really every divination system I use, whether it's tarot, whether it's oracle cards, whether it's runes, whether it's the lines of a palm, I look at it like, is this empowering the client, or is this disempowering the client? Because even the most positive card could have a negative interpretation. The Sun card. Who would even consider the Sun card being anywhere near negative? You ever heard of being burned out? Feeling burned out? What about sunburn? Those are some negative interpretations for those cards, and they're all valid. Same thing about Nine of Cups, the wish fulfillment card. What is the wish that has come true? Is it the wish that you wanted? Is it the wish that you prepared for and nourished and nurtured to manifestation, or it is the thing you feared the most? Something to think about. So especially when I look at cards, when I use cards, especially tarot, I don't look at cards like this is a good card, this is a bad card, because you know what? Anything could be positive or negative. The most positive could be have a negative interpretation. The most negative could have a positive interpretation. I mean, granted, I'm a little hard-pressed right now to think of a positive interpretation of the Ten of Swords, but I'll tell you right now, it's somewhere. I just haven't thought of it yet, but I digress. But seriously, I personally and intuitively don't look at a card like this is a positive card, this is a negative card, this is a good card, this is a bad card. I look at it solely from the perspective of, is this empowering the client or is this disempowering the client? Because you know what? Sometimes a negative card or a bad card position or a negative card position could be empowering the client to finally make the choice that they've been avoiding making, or have complete faith in the universe to provide them with everything they need, and thereby take a leap of faith and leave a toxic relationship, leave a toxic position of employment, leave a situation where they are no longer growing and prospering and feeling healthy and well. Protection is important. Feeling safe is important. Being safe is important. But I also feel that sometimes we can only allow ourselves to feel safe until it begins to kill us. Or in some cases until somebody else kills us. But that's definitely another topic for another video for another day. And journaling. The fact that it says journal, I love this blurb. I do. And I'm somebody that's been journal writing for little more than 3 decades. And I will tell you, journal writing makes a huge difference for me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be spending time with my newest tarot journals tonight. But let me read this to all of you. So under the section titled Journal, these days it can be hard to feel a sense of community. The old ways of and reasons for connecting aren't as relevant in our diverse, mobile society. Contributing to something greater than ourselves is vital to well-being. As responsible adults, it is our job to take care of ourselves by fostering community. Community is a two-way street, meaning that we also receive from our group. What do you consider your community? What do you bring to your community? What do you receive? What would you change about any of those answers? And let's also take into account COVID-19. So there is something about having a few more challenges in fostering community because of a global pandemic. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, what are some of the ways that you normally foster community? What are some of the ways that you normally connect with others? And what are some ways that you have not explored in connecting with others? What are some of the ways that you are long overdue to connect with others? What are some of the ways that you can also learn more about yourself and deepen your relationship with yourself as a way of saying, okay, these are the kinds of community members that I want to attract into my life. You know, I will tell you that only because of COVID-19 did I become open to outdoor dining. I've never been an outdoor dining person. I always feel like it's more of a California thing, you know, because you have the nice weather almost all the time and all that other stuff. But I've never been like, you know, let's dine al fresco type of thing. And now, I will tell you, I am more interested in dining outdoor. I mean, maybe not now, because, you know, it's January in New Jersey, so, you know. But dining outdoors is more appealing to me than I ever thought it would be. And it really surprises me that I've warmed up to it. And it's not like, you know, and really I warmed up to it because when I was dining outdoors, I wasn't like, no air conditioning. I wasn't doing that. I was like, oh, this is so lovely. And people were saying hello. And I still remember when I went to Cuba Libre in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania last August. And the people that were, I mean, there was a safety shield thing. But the people next door were celebrating their wedding anniversary, and they were like, "What is that you're eating? It looks delicious." I'm like, and I told them what it is, and I was very happy, and it was really fun, because they weren't Cuban, you know, they might have been part Cuban, but they definitely did not look Cuban. They were talking Spanish to each other, and here I am Cuban, and I'm telling them what each dish represents and all this other good stuff, and telling them about the mango butter and little sliced toasted breads and. I was really, really happy. So, you know, so barring outdoor dining, you know, what are some other ways that you can foster community for yourselves? What are some of the interests that you have that you can connect with other people because of those interests, because of those passions? And, you know, I will tell you that journal writing is such, you know, I mean, I've been saying this for years, and, you know, and I'm going to keep saying it, it is a shame that it took COVID-19 for the masses to get the sheer importance of self-care. And really, those of us that have been advocating for self-care and practicing self-care is like, oh, now you got the memo. Oh, well, what took you so long? Tick-tock, bitches. Because really, I've been an advocate for self-care for years and years. I love self-care. I love practicing self-care. And when it comes to, oh, pardon me. Let me drink some tea. That's part of my self-care too. Got a little stuck in my throat. Okay, like I was saying, self-care is very important. The sleep, the food, the water, the coffee, the tea, the spending time in nature, all of those things are very important. And journal writing is another wonderful way to enhance and practice your self-care regimen. Thank you so much to Llewellyn Worldwide for publishing another year of the Llewellyn Tarot Calendar. It makes me so, so happy. If you have not gotten yours yet, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for it to arrive in the mail? Are you waiting for somebody to give it to you? Keep in mind also that Llewellyn Publications is an independent publisher. And I will tell you, I receive so many discounts from Llewellyn Publications directly through email. It's ridiculous. I cannot even take advantage of all of them. One would think that I do, but I don't, because I never get a chance. Because sometimes it's like, I gotta pay a bill. And sometimes it's like, oh, I already spent my money on this, and that I can't take advantage of that coupon code. And if it's a weekend special, that never works for me, because I don't get paid weekly. You know, I get paid when I get paid. I receive money when I receive money. But I will tell you, I love this calendar, and it makes me so happy that they published another one. So those of you who love the tarot, those of you who are in lust with the tarot, those of you who collect tarot decks, those of you who live for tarot, those of you who give readings with tarot professionally, if you don't have this deck, what do you mean you don't have this deck? You should absolutely, deck, listen to me, calendar. Marsha, yes. Give yourself this beautiful calendar if you haven't already done so. And I still need to buy another copy, because this has obviously become my copy that I keep for the videos, because I couldn't believe it. One day I'm going through the different months. Next thing I know, this thing falls out. I'm like, oh, well, I can't put this on the wall now. So this will be the copy that I use for my videos in this series. And again, for those of you who are new to my YouTube channel, all of the same year will have the same thumbnail. So if you see this, it's for the 2021 Llewellyn's Tarot Calendar. If you see the one, which I cannot reach because the ring light is on it, for the 2020 calendar, that means that they're all for 2020. I do this with all of them. So all of the ones in this series will have the 2021 calendar cover as its thumbnail. But thank you so much, Llewellyn, for publishing this for another year. You've made me so happy. Thank you to all of you in YouTube land who have purchased this calendar, who have given yourselves this calendar, who have given others this calendar. Remember, the more people that buy this calendar, the better the chances that Llewellyn will keep publishing it. And that will make me massively happy. Not that you have to make me happy, but I will tell you that for more than a decade, I waited for Llewellyn to bring a tarot-themed annual. Because we all know they have witchy annuals up the yin-yang. We know this. But a tarot-themed annual. And in spite of the fact that my copies are dirty and stained, and I'm embarrassed to actually show them on video, I'm keeping them. Why? Because a decade before this was published is when Llewellyn Publications published the last in their previous series of tarot-themed annuals. So I'm keeping them. That way I will not pay this exorbitant amount of money for an out-of-print book on eBay or Amazon or whatever. But I will tell you, I love this, and if you have not already given yourselves this, if you have not already given somebody you love and adore this, what are you waiting for? Seriously. Give them this. Give yourselves this. Let Llewellyn Publications know that you still remain interested in this calendar and you want them to keep publishing it, because as long as people buy this, spend this, buy this, they will keep doing it. And that's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, thank you for the likes, thank you for the comments, thank you for the shares, thank you to all of you who have been subscribing to my YouTube channel, and thank you especially to all of you who have been scheduling your sessions. Believe it or not, I'm not quite booked up for January 2021 yet. I'm a little surprised too, but you never know. This is the day to make it happen. So good night. I wish all of you many tarot-themed clarity and illumination blessings. And of course, stay tuned to the next video.